Greetings, chat. Sorry for the late hour. I just had something to do, and now that I've finished, I can dedicate my time to entertain you. I gotta say, today I watched a couple of Charlie Kirk videos, and I can finally see why they hated him so much. Because up until now, let me just raise up the volume because I understand. I need to have like one volume for the videos and one volume for the stream. But anyway, right, so up until now, I didn't get why they hated Charlie Kirk this much. Because when I watched his videos in the past, I was like, okay, well, he's got like some very normie takes. Like, this is the type of commentator that you get average people to listen to. Everything he says, I already know. Like, I already agree with most of the stuff that he says, and so it's not for me, right? And to see this unleashed hatred, like this absolute seething hatred towards him, maybe wonder, like, what was he saying? Did I miss something? And apparently, yeah, I actually did miss quite a few. And I want to show you a Charlie Kirk video, which I think that was my favorite, and it probably explains why they hated him so much. So he goes to a university here.
Scam, so I drove 4 hours here just so I could debate you on this. I've been in school for 4 years, majoring in English, and my education means a lot to me. I put in a lot of work to be here.
What school?
Right, so you have like this person, which tied his identity to a university, right? He's basically saying that the university means a lot to him. And this is not a bad thing, by the way, right? Because I went to a university as well. I understand the sentiment. Like, you put a lot of time of your life into that university, right? Like you go to it, you spend more than 8 hours a day in order to study, to learn. So there's also a lot of sacrifice in order to go to that university. You pay money. And no one wants to be told that it's a scam, right? Like no person likes to invest 4 years of their life and then be told that it's a scam. And I want to show you like how Charlie managed to convince this guy, or at least the crowd, that no, like the university is a scam.
University of Utah.
Okay, cool.
And so I find it extremely disrespectful for you to say that college is a scam, not just to me, but everyone here that's also going to school.
What's your favorite Charles Dickens book?
That was like for sure, like I come for like that's like all around, right?
No, tell me which one?
The sixth one.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Just like the one like with Bushmere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, how about your favorite Jane Austen novel?
Oh, I don't know who that is. Jane Austen?
You're an English major.
Yeah. Well, it's like come forward. So it's like. So it's like
what's your favorite? I'm gonna give you another chance.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Jane Austen novel?
Harry Potter.
You've been there 4 years?
4.5. Well, I have one more question.
You are proving that college is indeed a scam.
Okay. Well, my dad paid a lot of money, so.
So, you know, like here's the thing. I'm watching this, and everyone is laughing at him, but I'm not laughing at him, because I think he is a victim. And I will explain why he's a victim, right? Like, imagine you're born and your entire life, all your friends, all your family, right? Like, your boomer generation thinks that going to university is the way, that's how smart people exist, that if you don't manage to go to a university, you're a dumb person. And that's the PR that universities are selling. And they're not like selling it through advertisements. They're selling it through his parents. They're selling it through his friends. They're selling it through the mainstream media. They're selling it through the press, through social media. The entire culture is telling him, if you don't go to university, you're going to be stupid. But if you do manage to go through university, you're more intelligent than most other people. That's the boomer vision, right? And that's what he is told. And he had to, his father, pay a lot of money. And he actually probably studied, you know, like, just because his teachers failed him, like his professors failed him, doesn't mean that he didn't study everything else. God knows what, you know, maybe the LGBTs rather than the ABCs, but if he managed to go 4 years, it means that he did pass the exams. It means that he was actually there and he had to study and then go to a professor and show that he passed. But apparently, right, Dickens wasn't in the curriculum. Harry Potter wasn't in the curriculum, which... fine, you know, but like, she is, like, whether you like J.K. Rowling or not, or whether you think that Harry Potter is a serious book or not, it is one of the most read books, and it is part of the English language. Like, at least they should mention it, right? And he doesn't know anything about English, so, like, yeah, Charlie Kirk is basically pointing out, no, dude, it's a scam. And he did it more effectively than I could. His dad is paid to play. It's not just paid to play, right? Because you also have to actually study. Like, there are actual exams there. You still need to read the books, but it's probably queer theory. It's probably LGBT shit. You know, like it's stuff that doesn't actually help you if you ever get a job. Yeah, you can get a Marxist arts degree, I guess. And so, this is the issue, right? Of course, you're going to get kids that are angry. But there's another question, though. It's like, why do you need a university for an English degree? I like, my writer was an English major. He did manage to do good writing for the game. But I still have to wonder, like, do you need to go to a university in order to be able to do that? In order to be a writer? Like, hear me out, right? It's 2025. You have access to YouTube, which has, like, how-to videos and tutorials and stuff. You have access to audiobooks. You got access to AI, whether you want to use Grok, Gemini, or ChatGPT, or whatever. You get access to Discord, where you can connect with other people. Do you actually need to spend 4 years of your life in a university in order to learn how to English? Right? Like, is there anything that the university teaches that you can't learn by yourself? And then you become an English major, right? Hello, Tomcat. Then you become an English major. And what do you do? What do you do with that degree? Oh, you become a teacher, right? Like a high school teacher. Do high school teachers need to have a university degree? I have a feeling like there was a point in time where high school teachers did not need to have a university degree. I'm willing to bet that if you were to select high school teachers just based on an exam, right? Like, just give them an exam, you know, give a curriculum, like what high school teachers need to know, and then give an exam. And if they pass the exam, it doesn't matter whether they went to a university or not. You know, like, if you have a chemistry teacher and he manages to pass the exam and he knows all the questions and he manages to get in, why does it matter if he went to a university or not, right? Like, if you have an interview with him, and maybe you can have like a probation period of like 2 weeks where you get to see how he teaches kids, and he knows everything, right? Like, he understands the high school chemistry, but like, he didn't go to a university. Why wouldn't he have the opportunity to be there? Right? Like the idea of universities now is a money sink. Like, people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to become educated and then not even know the basics from the field that they're claiming to be. And that's what Charlie Kirk was exposing, and that's why they hated him so much. Yeah, it's the exact thing. You know, I don't need a degree to write a story. Like look at some of the best writers, right? Like Tolkien. Did he have a degree? I generally don't know. I generally don't know if Tolkien had an English degree. J.K. Rowling, does she major in anything, right? And they will say, well, yeah, but like, these are the books for the masses. No, I think you're just trying to find arguments in order to defend universities. STEM degrees are also fucking students to learn wokeness. Yeah, like, the only type of degree that I think is required is probably medical degree, right? Because, like, you actually need to see a patient. You actually need to see a corpse or something similar related in order to learn anatomy and stuff. So I get it in that sense. And then there's also law school. Because you need a certification, right? But other than that, no. Oh, Tolkien was a professor? Okay, I didn't know. Goes to show that you can go to a university and accidentally manage to write something good. What about Jules Verne, though? I'm actually curious. You know what I'm going to do this weekend? I'm going to take, like, most famous books, and I'm going to see, like, what is the percentage of people that actually went to an English degree and actually ended up writing something successful. And I'm going to make a percentage. I want to crunch the numbers. I'm genuinely curious. Law school. Well, I mean, every university has been subverted, right? Because, like, the moment they got in their diversity, like, they got their diversity departments, the diversity department didn't actually care about race. Like, there was a Catholic school that shut down the idea of a diversity department by making a study and showing that having a diversity department doesn't actually increase the quota of black people in your university. What it did do, though, is like they would prefer a white liberal professor and a Marxist professor over a conservative all the time. And so you ended up with the diversity departments just killing down every single conservative professor out there to the point where you had like 5%, 10% conservatives and everyone else was a Marxist. And so, like, the moment they got the diversity departments in, they started filtering out through hiring process. There was like a interview with a Romanian professor that went to Colombia, and the reason he came back is because he said, well, it's communism over there. And I remember, like, the Romanian host being horrified, like, what do you mean, communism in America? Like, this was in 2018. And he's like, yeah. It's like, look, what they're doing now is they made me look for a new assistant, and they said that they want a person of color or a gay guy. And he was like bewildered. It's like, what do you mean you want a person of color or a gay guy? Like, don't you want me to hire the best for the job? No, listen. Like, you need to hire a person of color or a gay guy. And he's like, no, sorry, like, this is communism. And he left, like, he had the tenure over there. And he said, fuck that shit. So, of course, like, the quality went down, right? And of course, like, it was also, like, a self-filter, I guess. Like, if you're a right-winger, or any type of person that just cares about meritocracy and cares about quality control and all of that, you're not going to stay there even if you have tenure. Like, if someone tells you, like, you need to hire a gay guy or a person of color for a math position, you're like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what does math have to do with homosexuality? I mean, I know that in high school I said that math is gay, but, like, come on. And most people quit. And that happened everywhere. It happened in DC Comics, it happened in Marvel, it happened in Disney, it happened in almost all the corporations. Like the people that didn't like this type of humiliation where they're using your credibility to do hirings, but like they're forcing you to, you know, vet someone that is definitely not fit for the job. Most people quit. Thomas, how did you do the red arrow with the here? That's kind of cool. That's a sign I didn't know you can have. Yeah, university definitely meant something until it got grifted, completely co-opted. Anyway, I wanna talk about the title of the video of the live stream. Authorities asked for help in the manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer, and apparently the father turned him in. See, the left would say that the advertisement for the shows are basically condoning the news, right? Jesus Christ. See, did you remember the apocalypse? It's like if you have a video talking about the N-word and you have a Coca-Cola ad, it means that Coca-Cola supports the N-word. No one thought that, but it is what it is. Anyway, thousands of Americans captivated by the manhunt for the shooter who killed the conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. A Utah father had seen the photos and video footage of the suspect released by the authorities. Can you imagine this though, right? Like you're a father and you're watching television, you see Charlie Kirk getting shot, you're horrified. It's like, what the fuck, you know, who could have done this? And then you see a picture of your son on the FBI wanted, you know, suspect at large. How do you react to that? The man in the images, dressed in a black t-shirt, plastered with an eagle and American flag, could be seen jumping off the roof of Utah University building after the shooting and running into a wooded area. His face was particularly concealed by a dark pair of sunglasses and baseball cap, but the father recognized him. Right? So, yeah, I mean, if it's your son, it's kind of difficult not to recognize, even if they cover their face. The father went to him and said, "Tyler, is this you? This looks like you." He asked his son, according to a law enforcement. His son, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, confessed to his father that he had shot Kirk. How does that conversation even fucking go? What did he even expect? Like, so like, he thought that he goes, shoots Kirk, and then goes back home, and everything is back to normal? This is like, wow. I would rather kill myself than turn myself in, said the son, and urged his dad not to turn into the authorities. Can you imagine how his dad felt? Knowing that you have a killer under your roof? The father persuaded Robinson to confide in a youth pastor who works with the Washington County Sheriff Office. The law said a family friend ultimately contacted Washington County. Okay, so like the dad didn't actually told the cops. He told the friend who told the cops. Over 3 hours away from the shooting, he was already in custody. That night, hours after authorities said they had no idea where exactly the suspect had gone, he was in custody at 10 p.m. Thursday in Utah, and state and federal officials had about 2 hours earlier given a news conference asking the public to help find the suspect. We got him, said the governor. The FBI at that point received over 7,000 leads and tips, the most the agency has received since the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. The governor said, but that one tip from Robinson's father and family's friend led to a major break-in of the massive manhunt. It would have taken authorities more than 30 hours to track down Robinson, who they allege shot Kirk from a roof above a 3,000-person event at Utah Valley University, striking him in the neck from 150 yards. After nearly 200 interviews and collaboration, 20 law enforcement agencies, a $100,000 award, and a back-and-forth search in which people were questioned. So, like, the friend of the family got $100,000? Interesting. The 30-hour search for the suspect. According to the country, the killing of the prominent political figure and media personality, the latest in a string of political violence incidents. It's weird that Yahoo News mentions other... Okay, because usually when it's a right-wing thing, they're less sympathetic. They don't editorialize as much. Actually, hold on. I'm curious, like, what other political violence is Yahoo News talking about? Because Yahoo News is usually very left. Political violence across America is surging. Yeah, they don't really give any more info though. Source CNN. Doesn't tell me much. University meant something. Yeah, how the hell they didn't notice patterns, the parents? Well, it depends how good he was hiding, right? Like, if he was just acting normal and the parents had the job, you know, you go to work at 7 a.m., you come home at 4 p.m., and then you relax and you don't really care what your kid is doing. And then there's also the question if you lived with them or not. But I assume they did, right? Because, like, they knew exactly the clothes that he wore. This is just like communism, when the family would turn another in. Ah, I see. Mom knew. That's another thing, though. You know, there is a reason why parents don't have the obligation. And I think it's like close family members, right? Like, you also don't have the obligation to turn in your wife. I'm not going to judge. I really am not. Because, like, I don't know how I would feel in the position. Like, if you think you did everything right. And there are people who say, well, no, that's not true. Like, if you do everything right. No, it absolutely is. Like, there are some individuals where you can do everything right and still end up failing as a parent. So I don't know how it's like to wake up with the knock on the door from the cops. And I also don't know what I would do if my son came up to me and said, Dad, I committed a crime. Like, those are the type of conversations that you never hope to have in your life. So I'm not going to judge another person for having that dumped on them. Notice how his face changed before and after college, yeah. My parents would turn us in. I think my mom and dad would turn me in, yeah. I think like a lot of. I mean, it depends, right? The relationship that you have with them. But I think it also depends on what you did. Although, unless your parents were gangsters and they got raised on the hood or some shit, most parents would probably turn you in because they would be afraid themselves. I mean, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I would probably be afraid. Like if you find out that your son actually went out and took another person's life, like even if you knew that, okay, well, you're going to shut up and no one is going to find it, or even if you think that the person deserved it or whatever, you're living now with a murderer, right? Like, you're living with a person that has the ability to take another individual's life. I mean, you know, even if you don't have the morals, and even if you're like, oh, well, that's fine, you know, or you think that family is more important than everything, you're still in a situation where self-preservation kicks in, and you're like, do you want to live with a murderer? Was fault of the parents? I don't know. Like, I would have to know his relationship. It could be. It couldn't be. Like, from what I've saw, like the parents were religious Christians. Sometimes like the fault can be of too much parenting. Like it's not always, you know, you leave the kid alone and he does bad things. Like, it can also be that you never leave the kid alone. Like you're overly parenting. You're the helicopter parent, and you're always interested in everything he does. And so the kid doesn't have time to make any decisions. And when he's finally free from the parents, when he finally goes to a college or some shit and he's away from the parents, then he dials the degeneracy to 11. Because he never had time to experience some degeneracy when growing up. And now that he finally is free, he's going to dump it to 11. Many such cases. I knew many people in the furry community back when I was a furry. And many of them had like some of the most helicopter religious parents imaginable. At the moment that they managed to get outside, like, they became furries. And it's like, both can be true, right? Because like there were also furries that had like parents that didn't give a shit. But there were like no furries that had normal parents. Like, everyone had a problem in the family, either a divorce, either an abusive father, either they got molested. Like every single furry had issues when I was in the fandom. Homeschool or Amish school. I think it's like the striking of the balance, which is the most difficult. Like, you can't be way too authoritarian and forbid everything, and you can't be way too permissive and allow everything. Like, you need to figure out a system, which I think depends on the type of child you have, right? Like some kids are different than others. You know, some kids need a little bit more authoritarianism, other needs a little bit more liberty. It depends. What happened to parents was they know. Don't they go to jail with him if they hide it? Most legislations, from what I know, do not require you to disclose close family members. Because, like, they understand, right? And so, Breaking Bad had that with Better Call Saul, right? Once they got married, Kim and Jim Kim didn't have to worry about not turning in Jim, even though like she knew what he did. So most states actually have that. Now, if you're a friend, yeah, you're required to turn him in. But if you're like a close family member, a father, a mother, or a husband, you're not. Depends on the child. Well, oh my god. When did Sargon say that? Holy shit, now that I remember who he was talking to. It was Justicar. Like, Justicar was an actual guy that, yeah. Anyway, as a kid, you can kind of tell when your parents are wrong or uncertain about something. Yeah, pretty much. You have to figure out a safe enough fuck around and find out system, whatever that means. Yeah, I don't think like that. See, the main problem is like everyone thinks that there are some strict rules, like a cheat code to life, and if you follow those rules, you're going to end up getting good results all the time. The reality is no. Like, every child is different, so every parenting method has to be different. What works for one kid doesn't work for another, and Not only that, but like you can see it. Like you can see a family that has 3 brothers and one brother is fucked up and the other 2 are good, right? And you have the same patterns. And so the explanation is that no, like despite the fact that the parenting method is pretty similar, it does depend on the kid, right? Like some kids are just born wrong. For instance, I had a cat once, and I was a really good cat breeder. I actually knew a lot about cat psychology, and I was able to vibe with the cats pretty well. But there was this cat that, like, she was never abused, never hurt or anything. But like, it wanted to be pet, and if you tried to pet it, it allowed you until it snapped and it literally viciously attacked, like not playfully attacked, but like viciously attacked. I never understood what the fuck was wrong with that cat. It was fucking mental. That's it, you know? And so, like, the rest of the litter was fine. There was no mistreatment, no event which got her to be like this. And the only explanation is, like, no, like, there are some people that are fucked up in the head. And so, like, no matter the parenting, no matter what you do, it's not going to end up well with them. But anyway, right, let's go back to the article. The search for the suspect lasted 30 hours across the country. The killing of prominent political figure and media personality, the latest in a string of political violence, ended up with a gruesome video of the shooting that sent the crowd screaming and fleeing through social media. In Utah and elsewhere, many waited for a suspect to be named. On Wednesday, hours after the attack, authorities believe they had the suspect in custody. That person was questioned and later released, and so was another one taken the next day. We cannot do our job without the public's help, the government said. President Donald Trump, who had credited Kirk with galvanizing and mobilizing the youth to vote for him, said Thursday investigators were making big progress. Whoever did this, we will find you, we will try you, we will hold you to the furthest extent of the law. Investigators with the FBI evaluated forensics evidence and combed through over 11,000 leads. About 40 hours after the shooting, authorities announced that they were able to fulfill the promise through Robinson's father. So now we're getting to the part where you have the dinner conversation and comments on Discord. Several clues pointed authorities to Robinson. His clothing, a dinner conversation he had with relatives, and comments he made on a messaging platform. Less than 4 hours before the campus event that featured Kirk as a speaker began, Robinson arrived at the university in a gray Dodge Challenger, wearing a plain maroon t-shirt, light collar shorts, a black hat, and light collared shoes. He later changed his clothes on the roof and then jumped down, leaving palm impressions, smudges, that authorities hoped to collect DNA from, and a shoe imprint. The next day, when authorities had taken the suspect into custody, Robinson was wearing an outfit that was similar to the one seen in the surveillance videos, and a relative confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. When he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had before. Robinson, a third-year student in an electrical apprenticeship program who grew up in the small suburbs community, had in recent years become more political. One of his relatives told investigators, according to the affidavit. At a familiar dinner, Robinson had told relatives that Kirk would be speaking at the university and that he didn't agree with his views. One relative told investigators Robinson had no party affiliation and didn't vote in the 2 most recent elections. Again, like this thing is interesting. A lot of leftists are like, he was a right-winger. Nah, he wasn't. He was a leftist. Nah, he was a groiper. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? People aren't as shocked by the fact that he got assassinated. People are shocked by the fact that they went on Reddit and Blue Sky and saw tens of thousands of university professors, teachers, journalists, people within the average walks of life saying that not only did he deserve it, but this should happen to other conservatives. And then they also had like thousands of likes under all these comments. This is what radicalized people. Like, it doesn't matter if this guy was a MAGA supporter, right? That's not the point. The point is that the guy who was for free speech and communication got shot, and everyone on the left was cheering and saying, oh yeah, well, he deserved it. Messages Robinson is believed to have sent on Discord stated the need to retrieve a rifle from a pickup point, leaving the rifle in a bush. Watching the area where a rifle was left and hanging wrapped the rifle in a towel. The message which Robinson roommate showed investigators also referred to the engraving bullets and mentions a scope and rifle being unique. Officials said another message stated that he had changed outfits. The message were, "Hey fascist, catch," and "If you read this, you are gay, Lamau." The suspect is not speaking to investigators. He's being held without bail. He initially spoke with some law enforcement, but quickly went silent on Friday morning after hiring a lawyer. He said on Wednesday that officials would pursue the death penalty against the shooting. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to tell me what the punishment is for the crime. For what the shooter of Charlie Kirk did, what is the sentence he may be looking at based on the state he is in? All right, let's I'm actually curious, like, how much you get in America. I'm curious if he's going to walk out, because we're looking at premeditated murder with a possible terrorist charge, right? Because, like, you did it for political reasons. That's what you would get in my country. And I think you'd get like 30 or 35 years, but you can probably come out half if you serve with good behavior. So I'm curious what the US thinks. Apparently, like, they're looking for the capital punishment. And so it depends, like, the jury of his own peers. The thing is, like, you can't really impress the jury, right? Like, there's no tear-jerking movement that you can get from there. So we got the bot still thinking about it. The Luigi effect. Well, the thing with the Luigi is that he can actually wiggle his room from a jury. Because, like, there is this thing in America called jury nullification. And so, if you can convince people from the jury that even though you actually did commit the crime, but they say, yeah, you know what, we don't care. Yeah, no, we know he committed it, but, like, I think in this case, we don't care. What happens in America, they let you go. The opposite is also true. Like, if you are a person that's innocent, and the jury finds you guilty, the judge can step in, but in the case that the judge doesn't feel like stepping in either, you go to jail. Right? And so, in the situation with Luigi, the CEO did some very bad things if you actually look into it. I'm not saying he deserved it, but I am saying that there are people on a jury that, especially if they had family members that were denied healthcare and stuff, they could be like, you know what, I'm not finding this guy guilty. From my understanding, like, the rejected payment plans for that CEO's company were 40% higher than the national average. Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, theoretically, if the jury thinks it's an unjust law, but in reality, they can even think the guy deserved it. And so, like, there are cases where you get jury nullification. Okay, so Utah allows the death penalty if prosecutor charge and convict him of aggravated murder. The possible sentences are death only if the prosecutors file a formal notice seeking it with 60 days of arraignment, or life in prison without parole, or 25 years to life. Authorities said that the suspect is being held in Utah on suspicions of aggravated murder. So, the next question would be if he cooperates and confesses. Based on what he did, what's the most likely outcome? So basically, from what I understand, like 25 is minimum. Do you get, like, served with good sentence in America? If he gets 25, that means he could actually get out, because he looks like a young man, right? Like, if he's in his 30, and he doesn't get shanked in prison, which is also a possibility, Although usually like murderers are being treated better, unless you hurt women or kids or the elderly. Uh, I actually don't know how they would treat him. Usually in prisons, like even in California, in America it's race segregated, right? So like in an American prison, you have like the blacks, which are on their side of the fence, and on their side of the yard, and then you have like the Hispanials, and they're on their side, and then you have like the white people and so on. And the white people in prison, like they have prison gangs, and most of them are not leaning left. I mean, depends on who you ask. You know, I heard some people say that Nazis are left leaning, so maybe I don't know. But I don't think like this guy, especially who was a furry, right? And he had the, I understand, the transgender boyfriend. I don't think he's going to vibe very well with this community. And so, yeah, he could go into protective custody, I think. I'm actually curious, like, what would happen to him. But still, probably not good. Okay, so if he cooperates early and pleads guilty, the most likely landing spot in Utah is a plea to aggravated murder with life without parole, not a death penalty trial. Utah's venue for aggravated murder, the Kirk case count, is death or 25 to life, but death is only on the table if the prosecutors file a formal death notice within 60 days of arraignment. If they don't, or they withdraw it, the case becomes non-capital and the court can sentence to life without parole or 25 to life. In practice, Utah has rarely carried out executions in recent decades, and capital cases are costly and appeal heavy. So prosecutors often accept a guilty plea for life without parole to avoid a capital trial, especially when the facts are strong and the case is high profile. Given the public assassination facts reported so far and the political heat, 25 to life deal is possible but unlikely. Expect prosecutors to insist life without parole at minimum if they forgo death. A downgrade all the way to non-aggravated murder 15 to life would be an extreme long shot from the defense. So the bottom line, if he cooperates and confesses, he gets life without parole as the most profitable outcome. Death notice trial becomes less likely if he cuts a plea, but if it remains a live option until death notice clock turns. I think they're going to go for the death notice. Because I heard the governor ask for that. Not directly, indirectly. He's like, oh, don't forget that in Utah we still have the death penalty. So I think they may push for that. Have you seen Dev attacking Charlie's widow? No, I have not. Oh, I told you he's cooking. I told you. See, chat? See? Like, a lot of people were asking him, what is Dev thinking? Like, what have Dev said? And I was like, I don't know. And I look at him, it's like he hasn't said anything. And I was like, look. The man is cooking. He's cooking. Just wait for it, right? And if you're telling me that he attacked the widow, well, I guess the dish is ready, right? So let's... There's no way. I don't think that even Dev decided to do something like that. Where did he do it? I don't see him doing it. No, you lied to me. You lied to me. There's no, no. But I'm not. There's nothing to show. He hasn't done it. I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm looking on Twitter. I genuinely do not see the post. Huh. Check the channel Ace. He has a video. You want me to check the competition? I don't need a video. I need the actual tweet. I can think for myself. I don't need Ace to tell me what to think. Like, I need to see where Dev is attacking the window, right? Like, I don't want spoilers. He's talking about Dodge. Someone said, you should never kill yourself because if reincarnation are real, there's a statistically high chance you're going to be reborn in India. I mean, Yeah, I don't see Dev doing it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying I'm not seeing it. The only thing that he did do, which doesn't really care, that doesn't really count, is retweeting this, right? And someone said she's as hateful as her husband. And you have what Dev retweeted. I think it's fair for her to be angry after her husband just got murdered. So no, I agree with Dev and I agree with Astolfo SMG. I did notice this, right? So like you have this event where she went to speak at Turning Point USA. And all of a sudden, all the experts come out, right? Like all the psychologists and the psychoanalysts and the psychos. And they're like, oh, what type of woman? Like, this is not grief. It's not grief what she experiences. What type of woman? What type? The woman, the type. Tell me the type. What is the type that shows this level of anger? She is filled with hatred. And like, literally, seriously, like, there were psychologists just, like, on Twitter, like, documenting. It's like, the type. What type of woman doesn't show grief and shows anger? And so I asked Grok, you know, a lot of people hate this when you're like, Grok, is it true? But sometimes, no, seriously, like sometimes the bot is really interesting because it manages to humiliate the living shit out of the experts. And I asked Grok, you know, like, would it be unreasonable for a person that sees her husband getting assassinated experience fits of anger? And Grok is like, no, that's actually perfectly normal for a human being to experience. Like, it's within the range of normal emotions. And my point is like, okay, so now we have these experts of society, right? Like the psychoanalysis, the psychologists, and the psychos. And they're all pretending that, oh, we don't understand. What type of woman? The type. Oh, which type is she? The normal type. Yeah, no, and the thing is, which baffles my brain, and I'm pretty much sure I know why they're saying this, right? Because like up until now, you would see a father in Sweden. And he's getting his girl killed on the streets, right? And the father comes on television and is like, oh, I don't feel, I forgive the killer. If my daughter was alive, she would forgive the killer as well. Everyone forgives the killer, right? And you have like this on television just nonstop for like the last decade. Now, I wonder, and I'm genuinely curious if these people aren't being paid behind the scenes, or if they're not threatened behind the scenes. Because like no father that I know would ever say something as dumb as that. You know? Like if you have your daughter or your kid getting murdered, you're not going to come on television, oh, let me tell you how compassionate I am. Yes, you know what my son would have wanted? Probably if he was alive, he would have allowed you to murder him again. Come on, right? But like the psychologists go like, no, this is normal behavior. This is normal. No, it's not. It's not normal. It's abnormal. It's insane, right? And so now that you have a person that's basically, no, like she's enraged. Of course she's enraged. Her husband was shot in front of her kids. Like that is the exact emotion that you'd expect a person to have. Right? Like I would expect my kid to feel that way if I got shot. I would expect my wife to feel that way. I would feel the same way for her if she got right? But you have the experts coming in trying to gaslight you. Oh no, this is abnormal behavior. This is lunacy. Like she's an angry person. It's like, well, yeah. Barb Rogers, thank you for the membership. That wasn't Sweden? Yes, it was, and it wasn't just Sweden. This is probably what you want to say. It wasn't just Sweden, but it was. Okay, we got the links. Let's see. Maybe it's just because I'm old enough to remember life before social media, but holy fuck. Is it weird for Charlie Kirk's wife to post a video of her kissing his corpse's hands? Oh my god. Oh, Dev. Oh, Dios mío. Yeah, no, he cooked. He cooked. why record the moment like that? Because people have emotions, Dev, and are sentimental, right? Uh, and other people understand that an individual who experiences a tragic event may not make all the correct judgments and all the correct things, you know? No, I get it. Yeah, like why would you post on social media a video of you kissing your husband's hand? Why would you hyperanalyze that is the better question. Like why are you deconstructing and hyperanalyzing and posting that shit? Why? If that's how she knows how to channel her grief, leave her the fuck alone. Oh my god. Devon. They put the chemicals in the maple syrup, yeah. Did he copy Destiny? No, Destiny had another take. It's... by the way, did she actually put the video, or is it like someone else filming it? Because I also have to wonder, right? Like, did she put the video of kissing the hands? Yeah, I mean, of course there are pictures of delegates kissing the relatives' hands. It's part of the ritual, right? Like, that's what I thought. Like, every funeral has traditions. And it's like a thing that you're supposed to do. Yeah, like, when my grandma died, people kissed her. When my mom died, people kissed that. It's like, it's just part of tradition. Like I thought it's an Orthodox thing, and maybe, like, Americans don't do it. But, like, no, I think it's a Catholic thing as well. And I think it's a tradition that's spread even to Protestants, right? You don't ask. It's like, well, it's the last opportunity that you have, you know, and the last memory that you'll have. I personally don't do it. I don't like it. But, like, if I see other people do it, I understand. Right? Like, just because I don't do it doesn't mean that others shouldn't. Gabriel Norta, because that is exactly what he did with the firefighter. I stopped caring about whatever he says. Yeah. Yeah, Chrono Square. I lost a lot of people ever since the pandemic, and it is what it is. You know, like, you're supposed to go through that. The other way around is not okay, right? When the parents see their kids dying, that's not okay. But, you know, seeing your parents passing away, it's part of life. And yeah, like, people kissed like, at every funeral that I went, and I went to quite a few, like, yeah, there's the moment where people kiss the deceased. It's, anyway, CGR 902. Thank you for the $5. Dev can't understand things unless they happen to him directly. He also can't spin the apple. Can't spin the apple. Or tell you how he'd feel if he didn't have breakfast. The fact that I get the reference of spinning the apple is absolutely hilarious. It's not necessarily that I don't think, like, he has the ability to read the room. This is the problem, right? Because, like, he doesn't go out of his way to upset people. Like, it's not like JDA. He doesn't think, like, what can I tweet now that's going to enrage people, upset them so more. No, I think that he generally doesn't understand human emotions, right? And so when he tweets something batshit insane, like, to him it's normal, and he just doesn't understand why people are upset. It is what it is, I guess. Especially when... No, you think he does it on purpose? Did I speak with the man? I'm telling you, I got, like, insider info. He doesn't. Because, like, if he did it on purpose, I would have more respect. I have respect for people that are pragmatic. And they're, like, less moral inclined, but, like, more pragmatic heavy. I'm not saying amoral. I'm not saying, like, people without morals. But I'm saying, like, people that have more pragmatism, I resonate with them more. And if you were to tell me, like, okay, look, I go on social media and I post outrageous shit because that's what gets clicks, I would be like, okay, I understand. That's fine. But if I see someone that goes on social media and posts outrageous shit despite the fact that he doesn't want to, then that's ridiculous. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting, like, the result that you're not into? Like, change your tactics. And they can't, because they don't understand human emotion. He's just stupid. They're saying he's stupid. No. It's not. It's not about stupidity, right? Like, it's not that he doesn't see patterns. It's not that he doesn't have the ability to read a book and understand what's written. Is that if you're in a room with him and you're angry at him, he doesn't understand that you're angry. Okay? If you make fun of him, he doesn't understand that you're making fun of him. When it's about, like, reading PhD, he can read it and understand what's written probably better than me, right? Like, he can read something, explain what he wrote, what he read, and even tell it to other people. He can do that. But if you have, like, 5 people in a room and you're asking them which one of these people likes you, which one hates your guts, he doesn't know. It's called autism? Well, okay, well, that's what he has then. I don't know. But, like, that's the vibe that I'm getting, right? It's not that he's malicious. He's doing it maliciously. It's not like he's doing it on purpose to game the algorithm and to get likes and retweets. No, he does it because, like, he genuinely does not understand other people's emotions. Clowns get paid. Well, he probably does get paid, yeah. After the last Archcast with Dev, I stopped watching Dev. When was Dev on the last Archcast? I understand that even Arch lost his patience. I don't mean any disrespect, but sometimes I'm truly wondering how he got audience. Well, he gets audience because, as I mentioned, you know, like, he can actually read something, he can investigate something, and then he can make a video that's really thought out. And this is why, like, people watch him for the videos. But then he has, like, some takes that are completely fringe and, like, doesn't understand the content. It's not that he doesn't understand the content. Doesn't read the room, right? And he has, like, the takes that are made in a way which upset people. And that's why he lost a lot of subscribers. Isn't he on the Battle Trauma streams? Yeah, but we're talking about the Archcast. When is he going to make that trucker video? From my understanding, he's rebranding his channel. So, he's going to come up with a new name. I suppose, like, Short Fat Otaku doesn't hit that well in 2025. So, he's coming up with a new name. And he's also going to make the trucker video. Like, imagine making the trucker video in 2026. You know, it's like... Yeah, okay, well, unironically, it will probably have a lot of views, right? Like, if you're going to cock these people with the trucker video for, what, like 3 years? I think some people may actually watch, yes. Short Fat Otaku has never been his name, V. It's his friend's channel. I never knew the lore. Anyway, right. I think I'll end it here. I need to update my other 2 channels with new videos for today. If you set your clock for 2 hours before now, I will be streaming, right? So tomorrow, 2 hours before now, set your clock, live stream will happen. I'm sick and tired of people basically saying, well, V, I'm subscribed to you. I get no notifications. I even have, like, one of my biggest donors, SRC Maker. It donates almost every single stream. And I have to personally link her the stream. Like, I have to go on Discord and link her the stream. And it's like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, right. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.